So unfortunately, a lot of essential oil gets adulterated. Now I'm going to show you how, or tell you how they adulterate them to make, as I say, make more of the essential oil. And there are various ways that they do this. Now this can happen, by the way, any way along the supply chain. I'm not just saying the manufacturers, the growers do it. They may do, but anywhere along that line of sale where the person sells it, say the grower sells it to that next person, maybe then they mix it with certain things to stretch it out and then sell it on from there. Now, okay, so one of the ways that they stretch it, now this, my little lavender I was showing you, this, okay, first of all, I bought 6 essential oils. I knew they were going to be adulterated because I bought 6 essential oils for $20. Lavender, eucalyptus, rosemary, something else. Now, you just can't buy 6 essential oils. I think there are 10 mils, 10 mils for $20. So again, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Well, of course they are. Now, so essential oils should not feel like a carrier oil, like a massage oil. They should not be oily. Now, this one here, right, it feels exactly like that. It is, it's really oily. So they've cut this with the base oil. There's no two ways about it. And I'm going to show you, if you have suspicions like this, first of all, I know it's oily. It should not be oily. Now, if I get this one here, which is a pure lavender, if I do that here and put this on my finger, it will not, and it has a grip to it, because it's not oily. It's not oily. This is pure lavender. Okay, so there's one thing to look at. Now, so they'll cut it with a base oil, and I'm going to show you how what you can do to see if it's been cut with a base oil as well. All right, so there's that. They will also use nature identical. They can use nature identical constituents as well. So, for example, when they do mass spectroscopy and gas chromatography, which are the two of the major testing methods for essential oils, what they'll do, they will then test them, and then they'll have this scale, and they will look at the specific constituents of the essential oils. For example, in Lavandula angustifolia, they might be looking at the essential component constituent called linolyl acetate. So they'll look at that, and that will have to be in a certain range. Now, if certain, let's say a manufacturer goes and extracts it, and they extract it, because another way what they'll try and do is extract the essential oils quicker than they should actually be extracted. It should be a certain time, and they decide, well, the quicker I can get this batch through, I can put another batch in. But then that will affect the constituents in the essential oil. So when it goes to be tested, let's say the linalool has to be 42%, and that's when they do the testing, they'll look at that. Let's say it's only 20%. Well, what they can do, and they can do it very cheaply these days, is they will make synthetic linalool and add that to it. So then they'll add that into there to raise it up to the 40%. But thankfully, the testing can test this, and they know the synthetics are in there, so they can test that. All right. Another thing that they'll do to adulterate it, to stretch out the essential oil, is use similar smelling essential oils. Now, neroli, which is from the flowers of the bitter orange trees, I told you before, if you add so it's much cheaper to extract the bitter orange essential oil from the rinds of the fruit, and then you can add those in. Right? So they're adding in cheaper extractions to the neroli, and that will make more of the neroli, and we can call it just pure neroli essential oil. Same with rose, they might put in, with rose essential oil, they'll put in rosewood, and so on and so forth. So this is another way they do it, just putting similar smelling essential oils and then still call it neroli or rose essential oil as well. So they do that. So cutting with a base essential oil, using synthetics, and also using very similar smelling essential oils to do that as well. Thankfully, the majority of people are not doing this. Now, so what we're going to do, we're going to look at high quality essential oils. So we're going to look at that from a reputable supplier and dealers, and that way you're going to be much better off of not getting adulterated essential oils. Now, here's what you do if you suspect that it's from cut with a base oil, which mine is. So what I did here, I got 2 drops of this, and you get a piece of paper, and put 2 drops of essential oil, adulterated essential oil, and then 2 drops of the one that I know is 100% pure. So you'll see these here. Now, okay, you see that okay? Yeah. All right, so this one's adulterated. Now, this has been cut with the base oil. Okay, this one does not. It's 100% pure essential oil. What you will find is when these dry out, you will not see anything here of the essential oil. It will dry completely off. But this, because it's got oil in it, it's got a base oil, that will leave an oily film. So you'll have an oily stain here. So you let this dry, okay? This will completely disappear, and this will then be still there as an oil blotch on the piece of paper. So that's one way to find out if it's been cut with the base oil.